Welcome back again to another exciting week in terms of planning for your Singapore trip. So glad to have you guys with us. As you would have seen on the page by now, things have changed on the group page a little bit. So now we've changed our name to include Singapore rather than SG, and that's because not everyone knows SG. Right, so it's more of a local Singapore thing where people kind of mention SG, but in terms of people who are not kind of living in Singapore, most people refer it to Singapore as Singapore, not SG. So I've changed the group name to include Singapore, and the other thing that I've done is I've changed the group to also include ticketing, because now we are going to branch not only from free itineraries and tips, not only in that area, but we are going to expand our coverage to include things like ticketing. Okay, so I know a lot of people are looking for ticketing information and good ticket deals and stuff, so we've partnered together with a few of the local people selling tickets. Okay, people are reliable. I have confidence in them. I've checked them out. So I wanted to share these offers together with you guys. All right. So if you've been following SG Travel Buddy as well as this particular group, right, you would know that I am very helpful. I try to offer the best things for you guys, and ticketing is just a natural progression to show you guys more about Singapore and to offer you guys some of the local discounts that we do get. Okay, so if you are interested in that, stick around for the next few days, because we will release more information on that particular area. Okay, but today we are going to be focusing more on 4 days, 3 nights in Singapore and what that actually means, right? How are you guys going to be able to get 4 days, 3 nights in Singapore for under $450? Okay, so I've chosen US dollars because I'm not too sure where you are in the world, but usually US dollars are the most common, okay, denominator, and you know, that would be the easiest way to track to track what the prices are like and stuff like that. So so I'm going to use Singapore dollars when I'm talking about this, okay? But essentially the final figure, if you convert it to US dollars, it's under 450. So I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, we're going to cover free itinerary, okay? Yes, you are getting a free one, and this is quite a common one, okay? So in other words, a lot of people privately message me and say, can you look at my itinerary? A lot of people ask questions on the group, right, as well as in other groups, and say, you know, I've got this itinerary that I've done. Can you help me out? Does it look right? Does it not look right? Do I need to swap things around? So I'm going to show you the most commonly asked attractions, okay? And I'm going to show you what the arrangement is like, okay, to put the things which are in the common areas together so that you have a very efficient travel plan, okay? In addition to that, I'm going to look at the details and how much it costs to move around 4 days, 3 nights, right, based on that itinerary. And then I'm going to end it off showing you guys some prices, okay, when it comes to ticketing. All right, so stick with me. We're going to cover the following areas, as I've said, assumptions, okay, so certain assumptions that I've made doing this particular presentation. Number 2, we're going to look at the itinerary itself, and you will, if you want a screenshot, go ahead. You know, as you know, nothing is private, confidential here, right? Everything that I'm showing is publicly available. I'm just helping you guys to put it all together in a way that's really easy. So you don't need to go around and find the information. It is all there. So take a screenshot when the time comes. Next thing, we're going to look at the cost breakdown, which I've mentioned, analysis, right? What are the largest types of costs and the cost per person? And then we're going to look at the last one, which is reducing the cost, which is what everyone wants to know, right? Because if 450 US is too much for you and you want to find ways to kind of get around and reduce it, I'm going to give you some points. Okay, so firstly, the assumptions. The assumptions are I'm going to have 1 person traveling, 2 people traveling, and 3 people traveling. Okay, so I'm going to show you the prices for 1, 2, and 3. If you've got more people, we'll need to kind of extrapolate that out. But typically, okay, because a large portion of this is hotels, right? Typically, there is a limit as to the number of people you can put in a hotel room. You can't put like 10 people in one room and then save that way. It doesn't work. But there are fire regulations here for the hotels. So they have a maximum number of people in the room allowed. Okay, so that's one. The second thing is that the attractions are the most commonly asked about. Okay, if you are planning on visiting other attractions, that's fine, but I'm not covering it here. Okay, and if you need to ask questions, you can go and ask me somewhere else. Okay, all right. Then the next assumption is that hotels, right, are typically 2 to 3 star. The ones that I've chosen. Okay, they're 2 to 3 stars, so they're not the Marina Bay Sands of the world, the Ritz-Carltons of the world, and all that stuff, okay? Not for this presentation, okay? The names of the hotels are just random names based on the ones which a lot of people have chosen, okay? So again, I see a lot of questions, a lot of people message me privately, and I will just put a couple of those names in there, okay? I am not endorsing the hotels, right? So don't get it wrong and say, oh, you know, Travel Buddy said go and stay at this hotel. No, I'm not saying that. This is all not sponsored, okay? And I'm not reviewing the hotels. I've done the reviews of hotels before, right? In another video, you can go and check that out as well. But this one is just assuming 2 particular hotels, okay? Just for calculation examples. All right, and then the last one is you are going to transport around by MRT and that your hotel is walkable to the MRT. If you're staying at Balestia or around Novena side, it is not very convenient to the MRT, so you need to arrange transportation between Balestia or Novena to Novena MRT, right? And that's not included in the pricing. But you will see that it's not really such a big deal when it comes to dollars and cents. Okay, let's move along. This is the picture you need to take this is the one you need to take a picture of, okay? If you have not planned, and if you just want to visit all the stuff that everyone else is visiting, okay? This is the screenshot, okay? So 1, 2, 3, take a screenshot now. This is your itinerary view, okay? All right, now I will go through this, okay, just quickly because I don't want to spend too long. I may end up spending a while, but yeah, you know me. Okay, so first thing, I'm assuming it's a 4-day, 3-night, okay? So I've just picked 4 days here, 3 nights, hotel 1, 2, and 3, okay? 3 nights in a hotel. Now, I'm assuming that you're arriving in the afternoon, okay? Because a lot of people do. They either arrive in the afternoon or kind of like it's like midnight flight, right? So they arrive at like 1 a.m. in the morning and stuff. But let's say you're arriving in the afternoon, okay? You arrive, you get out to the MRT, then from the MRT you go and check in at the hotel. The hotel you go to drop your bags, and then after that you go to Clarke Quay, right? So the first thing that I've just put on the itinerary. Again, these are all the common things that people do. Okay, Clarke Quay. People like to go and see the river cruise. Okay, so you go to Clarke Quay Jetty, and then from Clarke Quay Jetty, you then take a river cruise out. I think it's about 45 minutes, and it happens at the top of every hour. So 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, etc. Okay. Do note that night times do get rather crowded, so if you want to go, and you're going at night time, do book tickets in advance. That's the biggest kind of flashing light that I would mention to you guys, okay? Clarke Quay gets really busy, especially on weekends. Friday night, Saturday night, I went one of the Saturday nights, it was crazy. it was really, really crazy. It's just too many people, and they're all just kind of hanging around the ticket office, right? It was just no queue. It was just a whole bunch of people everywhere, and you just couldn't, you didn't know where the beginning and the end of the queue was. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, so your day one ends here. First night in the hotel. Okay, again, I'm just putting hotel and you just fill in the blanks. All right, second one. This second day, okay, I've just put as the Sentosa day. Okay, Sentosa is an island, the main Singapore island, and then there is a bottom part, right, which is a smaller island, a very, very small island you can walk across, and that is called the island of Sentosa, Sentosa. Now, Sentosa, right, has Universal Studios on the island. Okay, so don't get mixed up. Some people think, you know, I'm doing one day to Universal Studios and one day to Sentosa. Actually, it doesn't really make sense because Universal Studios is on the island called Sentosa. Okay, so if you're going to do anything, it is best to do both in one day. Okay, just to save backwards and forwards. Okay, all right. So the normal thing is people will go do the cable car, or what I recommend people to do usually is go do your cable car in the morning. Okay, it opens at 8:45. Go catch that. Then after you've done your round trip on the cable car, you come back to Harbourfront and then you catch a monorail, right? It's called the Sentosa Express. You go into Universal Studios, okay, that way, right? You take the monorail in, you go enjoy your day at Universal Studios, doing all the rides and all, take photos and all that stuff. You have your lunch there, you spend the afternoon there, try and stretch it to about maybe 5 o'clock, maybe around there, okay? Then you, I think Universal probably closes around 6 or 7, right? But if you've had enough, okay, then you can exit out about 5-ish, go to the Skyline Luge, okay? Skyline Luge, you will ride the luge going from Imbiah, right? Imbiah, take the Sentosa Express, the monorail again, ride at one station to Imbiah Lookout, okay, Imbiah Station, and then from Imbiah Station you go and take that Sky Luge down, and then you get to go back up via the chairlift, okay, and then from the chairlift, then you get off, and then you can go and do that loop 2 or 3. People usually do the luge about 2 or 3 times. The first time it takes a bit longer because people have to go and do their the safety briefing, and they'll teach you how to do the to control the luge and stuff. But if you do it the second time and third time, it's really fast because you don't have to queue up for the briefing. So when you come back to the top, you just go and rejoin the queue, jump on the next luge, and then go down, right? So people usually do it 2 to 3 times. Then you would have dinner somewhere on Sentosa, probably around there. There's a coffee bean there down at the bottom of the luge. That's probably the most convenient. I think there's a local food cafe around there as well. Okay, just a few different things. Just grab whatever. Have your quick dinner, and then there is the Wings of Time, right? So this is the sound and light and fireworks show. Okay, so that one is just like at the bottom of the luge. It's like probably 100 meters, right? It's not a walk, you know, for half an hour. It's like 100 meters. So a 1-minute walk and you're already there. Okay, it's really close. So after that, then you go back to the hotel. So day 2 is done. Then you move to day 3. So day 3 I've split into 2 areas. One is the Orchard Road area, okay, in the pink rosy color, okay, and then you have the light blue showing as the Marina Bay area. All right, so 2 different areas. So first thing is Orchard Road. So Orchard Road, it's the most famous street in Singapore. Back probably like 10, 20, 30 years ago, everyone used to talk about Orchard Road, right? It was big for shopping. It was big for brand name goods, you know, and stuff. I think Marina Bay Sands has taken a bit of that, right? So, but if you still want to go, there is Lucky Plaza there. There's the big shopping center called Ion Orchard, right, which is down there as well. And then a lot of people go and see this library at Orchard, right? Because people who like Instagram go over there. There's a lot of people taking Instagram pictures, selfies and stuff. Okay, you want to have lunch probably around Orchard Road and Lucky Plaza, right? So after you're done, just have lunch in one of the food courts there. And then in the afternoon, you head down to Marina Bay area. You go and see Merlion Park. Then you do, and on the other side of the bay, you go see the Sky Park observation deck. So at the top of Marina Bay Sands, level 57, I think it is. You go to the top, and then again, a lot of people take the photos and stuff. Then after that, you can go to Gardens by the Bay, right? And there's the Flower Dome and the Cloud Forest. Okay, those are two places it's a must-see, right? So you, I don't think you'd have many other places around the world, right, which are like Gardens by the Bay. It's really, really nice. So you should go there and have a look, okay, both of them. Then you've got Satay by the Bay. So it's a bit of a walk, probably 10-12 minutes down from where the Flower Dome and Cloud Forest is. Go to Satay by the Bay. It's they have kind of like an open hawker center concept, right, down there. And then after that, come back towards the Flower Dome and Cloud Forest area for the light show, okay? And this is the Garden Rhapsody, and it's held where the super trees are. So if you've seen pictures of those big artificial trees with purple lighting and different colored lighting, that's the super trees, right? And they do the Garden Rhapsody light show at nighttime. Okay, so and then you hit your third night, so it's 3 days, 3 nights. And then the last day, right, which is your fourth day, is an easy day, right? So it's less intense than the other two. So this would be like Fort Canning Tunnel, right? A few weeks ago, I did mention that the tunnel is open again. So again, everybody is down there taking all their selfies, pictures, wearing nice dresses and dressing up really well, and then doing their pictures. It does look pretty nice. So you can go down there, and then Haji Lane, which is around Bugis area, right? So Fort Canning is near Dhoby Ghaut, right? So you can get off at that MRT, then take the MRT back towards Bugis, right? Which is Haji Lane, Arab Street, Sultan Mosque. I should have added there's also Bugis Street, right? If you wanted to do your souvenir shopping. And then there is also Arab Street for lunch, right? So you can see a bit of the Malay community. The Malays are the indigenous people, right? So Singapore and Malaysia were together before, right? So the Malays are the indigenous people, and then they would, they would have a lot of heritage, and there are a lot of so a lot of things around that particular area. That's why you've got the mosque and Haji Lane and all that stuff all in that particular area. So you can have lunch there. And then after that, you would head back to your hotel, grab your bags, and then head off to the airport. And then when you get to the airport, right, you can go and do the Canopy Park, right? Again, that's a very common thing, especially for people with kids. I think they like to go and walk around there. And then go and see Jewel, right? If your flight is later on in the day, right, so like late at night, then you want to catch the rain vortex. So the rain vortex is the one where, again, it's a sound and light show together with the water coming down, right, and then doing all that kind of stuff. So that one's also a thing which a lot of people go to. Okay, so I've given, and then after that, of course, assuming if your flight is Terminal 4, for example, okay, then you make sure you don't kind of miss the flight, okay, with all the happenings. But 10 o'clock, you take the bus, then about 20 minutes, you arrive at Terminal 4, do your check-in, right, and then after that, prepare for your flight, right, departure. Okay, so this is it, right? This is the most, probably, if I was to add all the questions that people ask me and the most common ones, these would be the ones. So if you had 4 days, 3 nights, this is how you would do it, okay? Assuming that these interest you, okay? And that's the big assumption, that if it doesn't interest you, don't do it. But we'll cover that later. Okay, Now, moving to the next part, right, the detailed cost breakdown. Okay, so this is the one where you get to see all of the costs, okay? These are no secrets. You can Google it, you can find out all the information, but I've done it for you, okay? So it's really easy. So the way it works is I've just put day 1, 2, and 3, again, based on the previous itinerary which you just saw. I will put the type of expense here for analysis later, and then I'll put the activity itself, I will put here, okay? And then if there was any official information, right, so you wanted to know where I get this information from, it's all, I provide official site information. So again, I'm not making it up. You can go check out the prices yourself, right? It's just, I've done it for you, right? So it's easy. All right, so then we split it up into if you are 1 adult, 2 adults, and 3 adults, so you get some pricing, okay? But generally at this layer, okay, it'll be a bit different on the next page, but at this layer, everything is just, if you've got 2 people, you double it, and you 3 people, you just triple it, okay? So for example, if you have a SIM card, okay, there's a SIM card for $12, right? If you need 2 SIM cards, it's $24.36, okay? Then Changi Airport to a hotel. Okay, so I'm not going to go through and do each individual one, right, from where to where, because I don't know which hotel you're going to choose, but the prices for transportation are usually between $1 and $2, okay? It's somewhere in between there, so you're not going to be far off, okay? So again, you know, if there's 3 of you, it'll cost $6, 1 of you, it'll just be $2. Okay, river cruise, it's $28, right? Again, you can go and click the site and you'll go see the price there. Food, okay, food, I've assumed certain places, okay, are a bit more expensive. Clarke Quay is a bit on the higher side, okay, so I've just said $12, okay? If you eat less, or if you like to share your food, or if you don't kind of have main meals but you kind of snack throughout the day, then this number will change. But on average, okay, for someone like me, I would probably spend about $7, roughly, okay? Clarke Quay, maybe things about $9, right? $9 for me, right? But if you want a drink as well, and if you want snacks or whatever, you know, then it's $12. Of course, the other way to do it is if you are traveling in a group, let's say there's 3 of you, the other way you do it is you purchase $36, or you probably don't need to purchase $36 worth of food, because that's quite a lot, but you choose a few things and then just share the food together, okay? For 3 people sharing the food, it probably won't be $36. It'll probably be like 25-ish, 20, 25, about there, unless everyone was a big eater and wants to eat on their own, okay? So I'm just throwing some numbers out there, but it gives you a rough idea, okay? Again, from Clarke Quay, after your river cruise, you have dinner, and then you go take the MRT back to a hotel, okay? So I've just put $2 there. So that's the end of day 1, okay? You sleep in a hotel, come out the next morning. I'm assuming your hotel has no breakfast, okay? So if it doesn't have breakfast, then it'll be, again, I'm just throwing numbers, $7. It's around there, okay? Some people are good with just a coffee, right, for breakfast. A Western style coffee, right, the Starbucks type of thing, will probably cost you $5 for a small, $6 for a medium, maybe $7.50 for a large, okay? But in Singapore, if you have a local breakfast, you can probably get all of that for maybe $5, okay? So you get your eggs, runny eggs. I don't know why they do runny eggs, but they do runny eggs. It's a toast, runny eggs, a toast, and coffee. Okay, local coffee. It's not the Starbucks coffee. And it's worth a try. It's a bit different. Okay, so all of that probably set you about $5. Okay, but it depends what you like. And then they've got noodles as well, like vermicelli type noodles. Okay, that's probably $5 as well. If you add the noodles plus, you know, some fish cake plus, you know, a sausage plus this and that, probably works out about $5. If you add a coffee, probably about $7. Okay, all right, so that's the food for breakfast. So you'll see this appearing a few times because you eat every day. Transport, again, $2. Okay, so Sentosa Express, the monorail, is $4. Okay, you use your credit card or debit card, or you use your EasyLink card for that. Okay, the attractions. Okay, attractions here is $26.40, right, for the cable car. Okay, this cable car is the one between Mount Faber, so it goes Mount Faber, Harbourfront to Sentosa. Okay, there is another one within Sentosa. Remember that island within Sentosa, which goes across, but it's cheaper and it's a lot shorter. Okay, so I just usually tell people about this one, right? The scenery is much better than just going across Sentosa Island. So this one's a lot better. $26.40 for the cable car. Lunch. Okay, so now because you're in Universal, right? So you've got. Oh, okay. I should have swapped those around. Okay, the attraction Universal Studios. It's about $83 a ticket. Okay. The prices for the ticket vary. Okay, they vary all the time. So there might be promotions and things like that. Again, you know, I'll talk about that in the end and how you can possibly save money. So Universal is $83. Lunch, okay, lunch is within Universal Studios. If you come outside, it's probably not much cheaper, maybe $10 to $12 outside. But you know, it's if you're familiar with theme parks, people don't go there to eat. People go there to do their rides. So if there is food, to me it's a lot of fried food, not for me the nicest, right? But that's me, you know. But if you like fried food, chips, burgers, and all that stuff, plenty of those. I reckon it's around $15 or so. Okay. After you finish the Universal Studios, you come out to the luge. Okay, and the luge, I'm assuming you take a 3-ride. Okay, a 3-ride luge. Okay, that means go down, come back via chairlift, down again, the chairlift, down again, the chairlift, and then after that you're done. Okay, so it's both. And this a flexi ticket, okay, is good because you can go anytime. Okay, it does cost a little bit more, but you can go anytime. So if for whatever reason Universal Studios, you just say, look, you know, I've had enough of this ride, or I'm feeling a bit sick now, I've had enough of Universal Studios, I want to leave, and it's say 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you can just use your flexi ticket, okay, and just do the luge 3 times. Or if you want to do it like 6 p.m. at night, you can also do it at 6 p.m. because the luge has certain time slots and the price changes depending on which time slot. And if it's not your time slot, you can't do it. Okay. Alternatively, you can just buy the ticket on the spot. Okay. That's another option. Okay. And then after that, remember I said Wings of Time is just a few meters away, right? So you can go to Wings of Time. That'll cost $19. And then let's say you have finished Wings of Time, you go back to Vivo City via the Sentosa Express, right? Back to Vivo City, which is on top of the Harbourfront MRT, right? You go have dinner there, let's say it's $7 at the food court, then you take the transport back, $2 back to your hotel. Okay, so this is page 1. Now, page 2, we are up to day 3. Okay, day 3. A lot of the stuff is the same. You got your breakfast, $7, MRT, $2, Orchard Road. Okay, so Orchard Road, Lucky Plaza, Ion, Orchard, all this type of stuff is just window shopping. Okay, so if you like window shopping, looking at things, and I don't know what you guys do, I would just say it's 0. If you don't buy anything, it's 0. Okay, guys like me, I don't shop, so it's 0 for me. Okay, then you've got the attraction, right, which is the library at Orchard. It's a library, okay, so here's the site for the library. Doesn't cost you anything, just go in, take your photos, and then head out if you want. Food, again, if you're eating at Orchard Road, Lucky Plaza, I'm assuming $7. Transport, so transport to the next attraction, which is around Merlion Park, you have to get off around Raffles Place. That would be the closest one. Okay, it's $2. The Merlion Park is free, right? So where everyone goes and does this, right? if you like doing that, you can take lots of photos there, right? Merlion Park, it's free. Then you can go round to the other side of the bay, okay, which is Sky Park Observation Deck. So I'll go to Marina Bay Sands, top floor, level 57. It costs you $28, right? Again, that's the price that's showing here. Okay, so this $28 is just to go up. Okay, I think they have another one which is a different price, or there's a promotion where you get to go up and they will also take a family photo or a photo for you, and then you'll get that for free. Okay, I'll talk about that promo later. You've got the Flower Dome and the Cloud Forest. Again, this is a must-see, right? If you're not really into flowers and all that stuff, I suppose you can skip it, but I think a lot of people see it, and this is quite unique, right? Yeah, so yeah, I would recommend it. I think it's really quite nice. Okay, and then from there you move to Satay by the Bay, right? Per the itinerary, I just put a number. It's about $12 maybe, 7 to 12. Attraction, then you go to the Garden Rhapsody, which is free, right? The super trees that I talked about with the colorful lights, that's free. And then you take an MRT back to your hotel. That's $2, okay? So that's day 3 that's done, okay? Now, moving to the last day, you get your food, $7. This one, day 4, you've got a bit of moving around, okay? So you take this one, $7. You go to the attraction, which is Fort Canning Tunnel. Dhoby Ghaut MRT is the closest. It'll be I'm just saying $2, might be less. Fort Canning Tunnel, it's free, so you go there, take all your selfies. Then you decide to move to Bugis, so you take the MRT again. I don't think it will cost $2, it's quite close, but maybe $1-ish. And then you go take Haji Lane, Arab Street, Sultan Mosque, take your selfies and all that stuff. Then have your food there, lunch at Arab Street, $7. Then transport back from Arab Street back to your hotel, because you want to go and pick up all your luggage and things, $2. Okay, again, I don't know where your hotel is, but $2. And then transport back from your hotel to Changi Airport. Okay, again, just pick a number, about $2. All right, now, important, if you are using an EasyLink card, remember to get the refund from your EasyLink card. Okay, now the EasyLink card, it has a stored a non-refundable of $5. Okay, so if you paid, let's say, $20 for your EasyLink card, the $5 in it is non-refundable. You use all the value from $20 down to you use $20 all the way down to $5. Then you will need to top up your card again if you run out of credit. Okay, you top up again, and let's say the second time you top it up, you've used down to about $10 left. Okay, you've got $5 left. Okay, and then you say, okay, I'm at the end of my trip, I want to refund this excess $5. You can. Okay, so $5 is locked, right, because it's the card cost. And then you've got another $5 in value which you topped up. You can extract that out. You do that at Changi Airport Terminal 2 ticket office. Okay, so you can do that. Don't forget to do that. Alright, and then you go to Canopy Park, which is $8. Dinner at Jewel. Okay, so Jewel, there's basement 1 and 2, which has cheaper food court, snack type of food. Okay, probably around $12 or so. Okay, there are many restaurants, so in fact restaurants on every level, okay, of Jewel, but basement 1 and 2 is probably a bit more affordable. Okay, and then you go see Jewel, the Rain Vortex, right? Rain Vortex is the sound and light show. It's free as well. And then you go and do your departure and exit. So let me drink first. Okay, so if you're looking at the cost, and again, you know, these are the variable costs, okay, so it's per person, right? If you're talking dinner, it's $12, 12 plus 12 plus 12. Okay, and then if you're looking at MRT, 2 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so these numbers are also just multiples. Okay, it's this is double that. This is double that, and that's plus another 390. Okay, so 390 plus 390 plus 390. So altogether, the cost per person is close to 400 Singapore dollars. It's not US, it's Singapore. Okay, now that is for one person. Okay, and that importantly does not include the hotel. Now let's look at the hotel. So again, one person, two people, and three. So I've just picked a few. Again, these are the common hotels that people again tend to ask for. Okay, I'm not endorsing any of these. I'm just saying these are sample 2 to 3 star hotels. A lot of people talk about them, so I've just put them here. Okay, I'm not endorsing. Alright, so let's say you have V Hotel Lavender. Okay, and yesterday I just picked a date. I just said, let's make it, I think it was the same time period, 25th to 29th or so. Okay, 26th to 29th. So what I did is, I said, okay, based on this, let me just choose if I was traveling alone, I just put one adult, if I put 2 adults, or if I put 3 adults. So these were the prices. Again, you go click that particular link, and then you go and surf around. But roughly it's like that, okay? So $534 for 1 adult at V Hotel. For 2 adults, so it's still the same room arrangement, is $534. But if you have 3 people, the price is $774. Okay, so it's different. Okay, now Ibis, for example, okay, you have one person, 2 people, and the third person is able to fit in the same room. Okay, and the price is the same. So if you had 3 people, it would be like, oh, okay, that works out quite okay, not bad, right? And then you have Hotel 81 Chinatown, okay, which only has an option for 1 and 2 people. And then if you have a third person, you just got to get another room. There's no option to stretch a third person into a two-person room. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. Now, importantly, we're going to look at the next screen, and that tallies up all the numbers. Okay, so previously we had $390. This was the 1-person price, 2-person, 3-person. The variable cost, depending on how many people there are, and you just times it by 390 plus 390 plus 390. Then you had the fixed cost. Okay, so this is the hotel. Now your hotel, I've just picked Chinatown. Okay, Hotel 81. Okay, and I said if there were 2 people, it'll be or if you have 1 person, it'll be your spending of 390 plus the 362 for the hotel room, and it will cost you $572.40, okay, for 1 person staying in Hotel 81 in Chinatown, Sing dollar, okay? The total cost is $752 for 1 person. Now, if you were to do this in 2 people, of course, the 2 people price is $780, right, in terms of the traveling around cost. Then your hotel is split into 2, right? So it actually ends up with a cost of $571, okay, 40, okay, $571.40. So that's the type of stuff that you're looking at, okay, $571.40. Now you move to the next hotel. Everything is the same, $390 per person, and then you choose V Hotel Lavender. It's $534 for 1 person. So if I was single, right, and I was traveling and I would spend $390, I would have $534 in hotel costs. The total for me is $924. But if there were 2 of us, right, it would be $780 in total spending money plus $534, but it's spread amongst 2 people, and then each person would have $657.40, right? Which is quite okay. And then if you have the same arrangement, right, but for 3 people, it's $648. Okay, so this is just giving you a breakdown to show you how much it would typically cost. Okay, so from the looks of this, if you were to stay in Hotel 81 in Chinatown, there were 2 people traveling together. Each person would spend $571, which is less than $450 US. Okay, which goes back to the first slide. Okay, so that gives you an idea. Now, when you look at reducing costs, okay, you need to analyze where the bulk of your costs are. Okay, so what I've done here is I've said based on one person, 2 people, and 3 people at the 2 different hotels, right? So again, going to the previous example. So if it's 1 person, $924 at V Hotel Lavender, this is the type of expenditure you have. Okay, and this goes back to my previous thing on the analyzing the type of spend. Right? At the airport, you have 0 spend. Attractions, 33% of your costs. Sorry, it shouldn't be 33. I think it's like 27% of your costs. Okay, need to update this slide. 27% of your costs, 10% is meals, and then 5% is transportation. So the bulk, okay, the bulk of your expenses are actually 58 plus 27. You're looking at nearly 80%. Okay. Of your costs. Sorry, it's over 80% of your costs, right? Which are fixed on hotels and attractions. Okay, now example 2 for the 2 passengers, $657. Again, it's near 80% of your costs. Okay, for the next one, these graphs aren't updating. I need to go and refresh the graphs. I think for some reason they're not updating. Okay, and then the next one was 80% as well. Okay, then if you're looking at Chinatown, it's still 80% of your costs, right, in terms of attractions and the hotel. Okay, and with 2 people, it's slightly better. It's like 76% of your costs, right? But all in all, what the key takeaway from this, okay, is that actually your hotels and attractions make up 80% of your travel costs. Okay, so coming to Singapore, it's the hotels, right, which have a fair big chunk, and the attraction costs. Now, with your hotels, I would say, and for those of you who have seen the videos before, you would know that we've done a review on the hotels, and cheap does not always mean good, right? Remember, I was sharing some insight into the hotels, and there were people who were choosing really cheap hotels, but then having really horrible experiences like hair in the drainage, locals who tend to be transient workers living within, the capsule hotels, people who made it their long-term residence, right, staying in the capsule hotels. There was like smell of cigarettes and all that type of stuff. So it really depends, right, where you choose, right, but know yourself. For some people, you may be fine with it, others may not be, right? Know yourself, know where your limits are, okay, and choose the hotel and read the reviews and then make a decision, okay? But hotels are going to be one of your largest expenses, definitely, right? Okay, so that's one. The second pointer is when it comes to spreading, okay, again, like I said, it would be ideal to have, 10 people in one hotel room, but that's not realistic, right? So you can only have 2 or sometimes 3, okay, depending on the hotel. Know what the regulations are, and the regulations are there because of fire hazards, okay? If there's a fire, you can't evacuate the whole hotel if, there's like 500 people within one floor, okay? So there are limits, okay? Please adhere to the limits. But the other way to do it is look at ways to spread your costs, okay? So things like if you're going to Legoland, okay, and instead of paying, $26, right, for a trip to Legoland, right, if you had, let's say, 10 people, okay, you can actually travel by luxury van, okay, luxury private vehicle, okay, and this luxury vehicle can fit 10 of you in, and it works out actually to be cheaper per head than if you were to catch the bus. Okay, so look at ways that you can spread the fixed costs around. Larger groups tend to command a bit more in terms of what we call economies of scale. Okay, the other thing to look for is discounts. Okay, so if you were to have a large group, right, you can approach someone selling tickets, right, to see if they can offer you more discounts, right? We'll come to that a bit later on, I think in the next slide, okay? But I'll cover that. Okay, attractions. Know what you really want, okay? If I was to tell you, go see Gardens by the Bay, and I told you everyone loves going to Gardens by the Bay, would you go to Gardens by the Bay if you hated flowers and just had no interest at all? Well, the answer is don't go, okay? Don't go because everyone is going. Just go because you really want to go, right? So you need to do your own homework, right? Because you don't want to be spending like $30 going to an attraction if you aren't interested. Same like Universal Studios. Let's say you don't like taking the rides, you're not particularly a cartoony type person. So someone like me, I wouldn't benefit going to Universal Studios, right? So I'd rather save the $83 and spend it on something else, okay? So just know, again, it goes back to know yourself, know what you want, okay? So there's that. The next thing to look at is local promotions, okay? So this is a big hint. If you guys are looking at SIM cards, and if you're about to travel to Singapore, okay, there is a promotion right now, okay? It's on the Pelago website. They're having 2 Singtel SIM cards for a discounted price, so you can go and check that out, okay? That's a big hint to those of you watching. All right, and then there is also an $8 SIM card, which I've seen people talk about, okay, an $8 Singtel SIM card, but there's 2 things to note. Number 1 is it's only got 1.5 gig data, okay? So if you're around Singapore for 4 days, 3 nights, you would, and let's say you're not a very heavy user, yeah, you'll probably make it at about 1.5. It's probably cutting it a bit close, right? But if you are someone who always likes to update and go online, do your Facebook lives, and always check your phone and all this type of stuff, upload lots of videos, watch YouTube. If that's your lifestyle, you need more than 1.5 gig. Do not get the $8 SIM card, okay? That won't be enough. You're better off getting the $12, which comes with 100 gig of data. You won't use 100 gig, but it's definitely more than 1.5, okay? The second thing to note about this $8 SIM card is Changi Airport does not have them, okay? So if you order the $8 SIM card, you cannot pick it up from Changi Airport. So that's going to be a real big problem for you, right? So just beware of that, okay? Okay, and then the last point is to ticket smarter, okay? Now, I've said this before, and I think I need to say it again because I'm seeing this pop up a fair bit. Some people are actually going online and buying the tickets in advance, but they're not checking it properly, okay? And I tell you, once you've bought the tickets, you can't do a refund, okay? So always, always, always check the date, check the time. And if I were you, and if you know you're not the careful type of person, if I were you, I would ask, somebody else's help to come over and use another pair of eyes to go and check and make sure that what you're clicking is the correct date, is the correct time, okay? You don't want to get it wrong, because when you get it wrong, you're wasting an entire ticket, okay? You're spending $30. It's just like you've just added $30 to your expenses, just like that, right? Because to find another buyer is going to be difficult, all right? So that's number 1. Be careful before you click, okay? Definitely. Number 2, given that some people still make mistakes, okay, and still click wrongly, they do have last minute deals. So there are people saying, hey, you know, I clicked the wrong date, that's my reason for sale, and I need to get rid of it, and you know, I'm selling it at a discount, right? There are deals like that. So if you haven't bought tickets yet, okay, and kind of waiting till the last minute to see what's going on, those ones might be good ones for you, okay? They don't come around so often, but if they do, I did see one last week which was quite a good deal, okay? Someone was quite desperate to get rid of it. It was a good deal, really. So if that suited you, that would have been great, okay? And then the next point is to check the weather, okay? If you've chosen to go to the Singapore Flyer, right, that big wheel that goes around really slowly, if you want to go to that and it was raining, I tell you, it's a waste of money, okay? So the other way, which I've mentioned before, right, in previous videos, wait till kind of the day before or the morning, right? And then you decide, hey, you know, actually I think the weather looks good, let's go and do the Singapore Flyer today. You can book a ticket, okay? You can book a discount ticket, or you can just go to the ticket counter and buy on the spot, okay? But again, it would save you from spending $30 and then it ends up being rainy and you're just thinking, you know, I'm sitting here in the capsule going around in a big circle, it's taking 45 minutes and I can't see a thing because it's just raining so heavily and it's all grey, and it's just like, what a waste of money, okay? So again, you know, do check the weather, right? And then lastly, it's Klook or local discounted ticket. I know there's so many people out there saying use my Klook code, and you should go and check it out, okay? If you have planned your trips, okay, and know what you're doing, what's happening on a certain day, if it's not affected by weather, then yes, definitely, you know, consider discounted tickets, Klook tickets, right? Discounted tickets and Klook tickets usually come with specific dates and conditions attached, okay? So go and check those out. Now, it brings me to the last slide, which is this, okay? And again, take a photo of this because this one will be a good guide for you, okay? Now, I've taken, hold on, let me have a drink. Okay, so I've taken all of these attractions are the ones that we talked about in the itinerary, okay? So again, I've done the homework for you, okay? These are the attractions here. These are all the official web links. So if you want to check the price for yourself, you go and check it here. Then these are the official prices, right? Based on the web links, okay? Here, okay? And then, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're moving the group into a direction of also offering ticketing options, okay? Because a lot of people do reach out to me asking for itinerary support, they ask me for direction support, they ask me for all different types of things, how to get there, what's the best time, any type of question. I've probably heard it by now, right? I get a lot of private messages and a lot of people asking me a lot of things, okay? Also, people asking me questions about Klook, but honestly, I don't have a Klook account, okay? So I don't go and create one of the, what do you call them? Referral codes, coupon codes or referral codes or whatever. I don't have that type of stuff, okay? But what I have done is I've noticed that there is quite an interest, okay? So I've reached out to some local partners, right? Who are trusted and reliable, okay? Such that if you do need tickets, right, then you can come to me, ask me about them, and then I can get you these prices for one ticket, okay? So where the official is 28, I can get you a 26. For a cable car, I can get you 25, etc., etc., okay? So if I was to put a percentage, these are the percentage discounts here, okay, that you will see, right? Again, it's all based on the official, right? If you go website, these are the new, these are ticket prices available. Now, that's the discounted rate. Now, if you do tend to have larger groups, as I spoke about in the previous slide, right? You have scalability. If you have larger groups and you need more tickets, then we can look at discount ranges. Okay, so the discount range can move from 7 all the way up to about 9. Okay, depending on how many tickets, and there will be, and for each, and there will be a range. So the more tickets you have, the higher discount you can get, right? But yeah, it really depends on your group size and stuff. Okay, so if you want a picture of this, take a picture. I haven't decided yet whether I'm going to share this on the group, but if you've watched this video, then yeah, you can take a picture and quote it back to me if you want. Okay, and then we will honor these prices. Okay, so there you go. Alright, I think that's about it. So that's kind of brought us to the end of the video. I do hope that this has been helpful. Oh, and a whole hour has passed. I thought I was going to do it quicker this week. But anyway, I do hope that it's been helpful for you. And if you do have any questions about the itinerary, about tips, or the ticketing information, do send me a private message and then we'll pick it up. Okay, as always, happy planning and hope to see you in Singapore soon. Bye!